Hello, this is Marilyn from Marilyn's on 5th Avenue South. We're going to talk about clothing care, garment care, in a lot of respects that maybe you haven't thought about, but probably should spend a little more time thinking about it because it will actually give life to your clothing, plus it'll last longer. So what I'm going to go through is one of the things that makes your clothing last longer is you got to take care of it. And one of the things that people don't realize, you got to organize it. You can't leave stuff not hanging up. You can't leave stuff on the floor. You can't leave it in the laundry bin for weeks at a time. All of this has to be hung up and put in an appropriate manner. If it's going to be laundried, it has to be taken care of. One of the things I wanted to show you is that if you're talking about cleaning up your room as we speak, I wanted to show you some of the hangers and what I would suggest for hanging it. One of the things we do here at the store, which is nice for pants, you can hang pants upside down, which I know a lot of people do because the weight at the bottom will kind of like a little bit of a press. It will hold the press. And since one of the things I'm going to tell you here is you don't have to wash your clothes after every, and me, I'm Mrs. Clean. So if I tell you it's okay, if anybody asks you, tell them I said so. Okay, you can hang them upside down. But what I wanted you to see is I put the two seams together so that the pants is lined up right. Now, years ago, they used to press in a seam. That's not done anymore. But what I want you to do is take the clip and put it between the pants. The reason for this is I do not want a mark of the clip on the fabric. Okay? So turn it around and do the same thing on this side. Okay? And then I kind of straighten and then kind of pull it apart. See how nice that is? That's going to hold it here. It's going to take care of the press here. And that is a great way so you don't get the fabric done that way. This is a great way to do it. Now, the way I do them in my closet is I don't do it this way because this takes up a tremendous amount of room. So I have, and actually I didn't pull one for you, so bad me. I use the plastic rolled on. But actually, these are very, very nice. This is the new ones we've been buying in the store. And they're very thin. And you put these in your closet, and all of a sudden, you have carloads of room. You can also store it like this. And the ones that I have are plastic are rounded. So they don't give you the crease across here. Either way is okay, but I think I'm going to go home. I don't have a high enough, and I'm going to change mine to the ones where I do it upside down because I think that looks like it's better for the pants. And then the other thing I want to do is on hangers, this is a good one we're finding in the store for knitwear. And the reason is that when you put it on the one like this, okay, you can get ridges in the knitwear. So if you have knitwear and you're going to be hanging it, you can also fold knitwear. But sometimes on the shorter thing, I think on these small tops that don't weigh a lot, you're okay to do this. But if you have a long dress that's in knitwear, I definitely would think about folding it. And we can talk about that later. But this is another one, thin again, that's really nice, that's working out. This is really good if you've got a lot of stuff to hang, like something with a strapless or something like this. We still give them in the store. They also are nice because they're a little wider at the top when they go to the sleeves, but this is also okay. I want you to go home. Whatever on the floor, it's got to go. Either it's in the laundry getting ready to wash or it's hung up in your closet. That's a little bit about hanging up of your clothes and taking care of it. The other thing is you've got to rest your clothing. You have to not wear it every day. The fastest way to wear out clothing is to wear it out every day. The shoes is a particular place. You should wait 48 hours between wearing another pair of shoes. You're sweating in those shoes, even if you're wearing socks. And the shoe needs to dry out. And we'll talk more about shoes when we talk about how to store them so that you can preserve them for longer periods of time. The next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk a little about the laundry and the cleaning of your products. And this is probably the one I get asked the most about, and I want to go through it with you. The basic thing you have to decide is what you're going to do, how you're going to wash it, whether you're going to dry clean it. But the biggest one I think people really get mixed up with. And once you make the decision whether it's going to be ironed or steamed when you take it out of that. Actually, the third one when you're not going to do anything at all, but we'll go over that. Most things, you got to lay off the dryer, okay? I can't tell you how much you got to lay off the dryer. The more you hang dryer your clothing, the longer it will last. No matter what you do, when you take out that lint filter and you look in that lint filter, where do you think that all came from? That came from your clothes. And that means that that product now has less fabric in it. So basically, if you can, hang everything, unless it's like sweats or something like that. But do not be throwing in things into your dryer. Think about it before you do that. One of the things is then the next decision you have is whether to steam or press, and this is really important. This is a silk dress, okay? This particular one I'm going to point out because it is hand-painted. Hand-painted things cannot be dry cleaned. So basically, if you're going to press something like this on silks, it's always better to steam because it's easier on the fabrics. And when you go to steam, you're going to steam, especially on this, on the underneath. You're going to take the steamer and you're going to go underneath like this. And that will take care of how you would handle this. Now, I have another one here. Now, you can press silk. Okay, you can hand wash it. You can hand wash it and press it, which is probably the best way to do it. And then I always, if I'm going to press and I'm not going to do a steam on a silk, okay, I turn it inside out and I press on the opposite side because that prevents shining. And whenever you can take a garment when you're pressing, you press it on the other side because sometimes pressing can bring a shine to the product. Let's talk about linen. Iron or press? Well, always steam whenever you can because it is the best thing to do, especially with linen. Okay, so you get the softer look. I brought this one because this one you can see has wrinkles. This has the puff that I get. So this is going to be a real simple puff. But you can see this is a press. The reason they press linen is because it gives it a shine and a sheen and it looks really nice, okay, like this. And they go for that. It puts on a protective, it's really funny, interesting, I did this in the reading, a protective thing against stains and things. So that's a lot of reasons too why they do it. But it won't, you can't keep doing that to linen because the steaming and ironing definitely takes. You're going to want to steam with linen as much as possible. So buy a good quality linen that puffs and you won't have to worry about a certain press. Okay, when it comes to cotton, cotton is probably going, you can steam cotton, but probably if you want a sharp, crispy look, you're going to need to press it. I would press it on the inside, okay, and you can use a steam iron. And when you're pressing both linen and cotton, if it's slightly moist, before you do it, it makes it easier press. I remember when I was ironing my own shirts in New York and I'd sit there and watch the football games. And I used to leave them just a little bit. I used to hang dry them and then I used to wait till they were just ripe and then I would sit there and press them. These are some of our shirts here. These are whites. These look really nice and I wash them and then put them on, and since it's white, I put the pleating in the front so it distracts from it not being white, and this is a great opportunity to do that. This is a good, I think, overview. If you have any questions on the pressing and steaming, just remember, hang dry whenever possible. If you're going to be doing an iron, you want to have something slightly damp, not necessarily with the silk, but definitely with the linens and the cottons. And for sure, you call me if you have any questions. This is Marilyn from Marilyn's in Naples, Florida, and absolutely this was my pleasure to tell you how to take care of clothes. Thank you.